Bienvenidos, gente. Estamos hablando el Bufarner TV y es otra carrera de la ARCA Menards Series. Estamos listos ya para la sexta ronda de esta categoría en Toledo Speedway, ubicada en Ohio. Estamos listos para la Owens Corning 200. Estamos viendo que la panorámica por ahora, ¿no? Cuanto a la temperatura, es bastante, por ahora, bastante tranquilizadora, ¿no? Para que se pueda llevar a cabo esta competencia. Justamente, ¿no?, de los pilotos a tomar en cuenta para esta tarde de hoy, mencionar a varios, como por ejemplo el caso de Max Reeves, que estará largando desde la primera posición en esta Owens Corning 200. Max Reeves, que recordemos que tiene múltiples victorias en la ARCA, pero en cuanto a las series regionales, todavía le falta esa victoria en la ARCA nacional. La semana pasada tuvimos carrera de la ARCA Menards Series y fue victoria por parte de Ken Honeycutt con el equipo de Cook Racing Technology. Sin embargo, en el caso de Max Reeves, realmente me esperaba un poquito más de él, del muchacho, pero no se le dio la oportunidad de poder destacarse para esa competencia. Pero bueno, toman en cuenta, ¿no?, varios de estos pilotos que son jóvenes, que tienen mucho talento, que tienen mucho potencial. Entre ellos, Tristan McKee, que hoy está presente, estará alargado de la segunda posición. Estará hoy presente corriendo para el equipo del PRG. También está su compañero de equipo, Carson Brown, dice presente. Los dos pilotos del equipo de PRG. Y además estará Keren Quapple, que estará haciendo su debut esta tarde. Que ojos, atentos a eso, Keren Quapple, el hermano menor de Carson Quapple, estará metiendo en esta tarde de hoy. El otro hijo de Travis Quapple. El breakdown, gente. Mencionar al respecto de que en esta ocasión estará compartiendo pista la ARCA Menards Series con la ARCA Nacional. Perdón, con la ARCA Regional. La ARCA Nacional estará compartiendo pista con la ARCA Regional del Este. Así que esto tómelo en cuenta. Estaré pasándoles lo que serían las imágenes, ¿no?, de lo que nos depara para esta tarde de hoy. Pero para tener en cuenta, 200 vueltas, 200 giros nos deparan para esta competencia. Lo cual marcaría, ¿no?, la carrera número 95 de la categoría en esta pista. Iggy Katona, uno de los pilotos más representativos, ¿no?, de ARCA, ganó acá la primera edición. Presente hoy, lo decíamos, ¿no?, Jake Bowman, el líder del campeonato, 5 arrancadas en la ARCA Menards Series, estará alargando desde la cuarta posición, corre para el equipo de Nitro Motorsports. Y ahí lo tenemos en pantalla, ya estaremos ahí actualizando lo que sería el lifetime. Y lo estoy viendo que el lifetime todavía no se ha actualizado, así que quédense tranquilo que ya lo vamos a estar actualizando. Vamos a ver si tenemos lo que sería el comando, gente, para lo que va a ser esta competencia de la ARCA Menards Series en Toledo Speedway. Ah, no, todavía no falta para que se dé lo que sería, ¿no?, el comando. Pero ya que estamos, ¿no?, aprovechamos este momento de la transmisión para que justamente, ¿no?, la gente esté pendiente de lo que se va a venir para esta competencia. Entonces decíamos, ¿no?, ARCA Menards Series, 20 carreras, ¿no?, 20 carreras de las cuales se disputan en Super Speedway, short tracks, pistas cortas, ¿no?, pistas de tierra y circuitos, de los cuales hay 2 de ellos. Uno ya los visitaron, que fue Watkins Glen. El otro circuito que les falta es el Lime Rock Park, que estará más adelante. La ARCA del Este y la ARCA del Oeste estarán en conjunto en esta temporada. De hecho, la ARCA del Este hoy está presente con la ARCA Menards Series. En 8 ocasiones se combina en conjunto la ARCA del Este, mientras que la ARCA del Oeste se disputa 13 carreras. Son categorías que tienen sus propios campeonatos y que para la ARCA del Este, los que están corriendo regularmente son los pilotos que obviamente van a sumar para ese campeonato, van a sumar para la ARCA Menards Series, pero que normalmente corren a tiempo completo en la ARCA Menards del Este y del Oeste. En cuanto a la ARCA Menards del Este, llegan a esta fecha con un Tristan McKee como el puntero del campeonato después de haber ganado las primeras 2 carreras del año. Recordemos que él se llevó la bandera a cuadros en la pista de Hickory. Se llevó esa victoria. Fue la primera fecha de la temporada, recuerden. Se disputó hace ya, el 28 de marzo. Fue hace ya bastante tiempo, hace casi 2 meses. Max Reeves acabó en la segunda posición, seguido de Isaac Miller y Derek Nealon, que había logrado hacer su debut en aquella ocasión. Y además también marcó el debut del piloto mexicano Esteban El Toro Rodríguez. El mexicano que acabó en el puesto número 11, tuvo problemas mecánicos, pudo haber tenido un mejor resultado, pero lamentablemente no se le dio. En Rockingham se llevó a cabo la ARCA East 125, carrera que fue ganada de nuevo por Tristan McKee y en donde Carson Brown, su compañero de equipo, acabó en la segunda posición. esa carrera fue dominada a placer por parte de Tristan McKee. Sin embargo, en esa carrera, en esa segunda fecha, también estuvo presente Garrett Mitchell, que acabó en un sólido cuarto lugar. Pero cuando hablamos de la carrera más reciente que se disputó la semana pasada en el Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, lo que fue la Cookout Mississippi 150, Matt Swift fue el piloto que dominó esa competencia. Y a placer de las 150 vueltas disputadas en el Nashville Fairground, las 150 le dio Matt Swift partiendo desde la pole. Landon Huffman, el hijo de Jay Huffman, acabó en la segunda posición corriendo para el equipo de Cody Roback. Tercero acabó Tristan McKee, el líder del campeonato. Cuarto acabó Hunter Wright. Quinta posición acabó Isaac Itzmiller. En esa carrera estuvo presente también Esteban El Toro Rodríguez, el piloto mexicano, que acabó en su mejor resultado hasta ahora en la categoría, séptimo lugar. Llegando a esta cuarta fecha del campeonato para la Arca del Este, llega Tristan McKee como el puntero con 137 puntos acumulados. Max Reed llega segundo en la tabla con 130 puntos acumulados, solamente a 7 por detrás de Tristan McKee, mientras que Isaac Itzmiller, el campeón de esta categoría, el campeón de la Arca del Este, presente hoy, ganó lo que sería, ¿no?, el título del año pasado y está llegando tercero en la tabla de puntos de la Arca del Este. Jackson McLaren, 3 top 10 en las 3 arrancadas que tiene en esta categoría, en la Arca del Este. Llega cuarto en la tabla de puntos, lo están mencionando porque tiene 24 años. Tercero acabó en la carrera del año pasado de Toledo. Vamos a estar justamente, ¿no?, viendo lo que sería, ¿no?, la grilla salida para esta competencia, para esta tarde de hoy. Decíamos, ¿no?, Matt Swift se quedó con la pole para esta competencia. Segunda fila, Jake Bowman con Carson Brown. Serán el líder del campeonato de la ARCA Menards Nacional, cargando desde esa fila número 2. Fila 3, Andy Jankovic, ganador en Talladega. Thomas Annunziata, ganador en Light Rock Park el año pasado en la máquina 70. Isaac Itzmiller, el campeón de la Arca del Este. A su lado estará Wesley Slimp en la máquina 25. Fila 5, Jackson McLaren. A su lado estará el debutante Karen Quapple en el top 10. Buen resultado en la clasificación para este muchacho, que recordemos que esta ha sido su primera aparición en la Arca del Este. Así tenemos lo que sería el resto de la grilla. Fila número 6, aparece Jason Kitzmiller. A su lado estará Ryan Vargas, que recordemos que llega segundo en la tabla de puntos. Fila 7 para el piloto japonés Takuma Koga. A su lado estará la chica Quinn Davis en la máquina número 85. Fila número 8 dice presente la máquina número 10 de Craig Pellegrini Jr. A su lado estará Matt Kemp en la máquina número 11. La número 9, Alex Club dice presente. A su lado estará Michael Maples en la máquina número 99. Austin Bong dice presente en la máquina número 34. Y Jeff McConaughey dice presente en la máquina número 86. Brad Smith y Rita Golet dice presente en esta fila número 11. Cuando tenemos acá lo que sería la gráfica de este evento, eran 200 vueltas, 100 millas. Habrá un break en la vuelta 75 y otro en la vuelta 125. Señores, se retira el Pace Car. Comienzan las emociones de esta ronda número 6 de la ARCA Menards Series en conjunto con la Arca del Este en la pista de Toledo. Al frente, Max Reeves, el pole sitter, ganador de la carrera más reciente disputada en la pista de Nashville Fairground Speedway la semana pasada. Reeves, que por ahora se encuentra a 7 puntos por detrás de el puntero del campeonato Tristan McKee, que viene ubicado en la segunda posición. Vemos a Carson Brown en la tercera posición, los autos del PRG, los autos del Pinnacle Racing Group. Gracias a todas las personas que están acá pendientes a esta transmisión. Estaré corrigiendo lo que sería el live timing. Paciencia, gente, ya estaré corrigiendo eso. Comentarles, gente, que hoy, para esta carrera, tenemos a varios pilotos que corren en la Arca del Este, como el caso, por ejemplo, de justamente, ¿no?, Jason Kitzmiller, Isaac Kitzmiller, mejor dicho, Jackson McLaren, Craig Pellegrini Jr., Austin Bong, Nick Buehler, Landon Huffman, también presente Quinn Davis, que está haciendo su cuarta aparición en la categoría, pero además, ¿no?, Quinn Davis, que es una de las chicas que corre para el equipo de City Garage Motorsports. Ataca, viene Tristan McKee por la parte interna, entrando a la curva 3. Viene el piloto del PRG, hay contacto, ligeramente de costado. Tristan McKee la salva. casi se termina complicando ahí con Max Riff cuando estaba peleando por la punta. Vuelta número 7, así arrancaron. Llanta de Max Riff. El contacto le provocó esa llanta trasera, contacto. Uy, casi lo termina impactando. La máquina número 24 de Kenan Cuapo se genera esta primera bandera de precaución en la vuelta número 7. Ya tenemos las primeras impresiones de esta competencia que arrancó con todo, gente. Primera bandera amarilla. El contacto entre Tristan McKee y Max Riff, que fue contundente con sus palabras durante la entrevista que le hicieron fue su victoria en el Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Que mencionaba, ¿no?, de que la única manera en que le pueden ganar la carrera a Max Riff es tocándolo. Vean, ahí está. Suelto de costado el 77 de Tristan McKee, la curva 3 y 4. Pista plana. Y vemos que ahí Tristan McKee la salvó. Pero ¿qué pasa? Max Riff termina, ¿no?, con esa llanta trasera izquierda cortada. Max Riff, por más que trató de evitar no perderlo, termina perdiendo control de su máquina. Toyota Camry número 18. Y vean, Thomas Annunziata era. Creo que Annunziata era el que lo evitó de milagro. Thomas Annunziata. Increíble. Es salvada por parte de Thomas Annunziata. Quizás una de las maniobras de esta competencia. Primera bandera de precaución, gente. A ver, voy a aprovechar este momento para poder arreglar lo que sería el live timing. ¿Me permiten? A ver, ok. A ver, ok. Bueno, mientras van a la pausa comercial, acá nosotros aprovechamos, gente. A ver, tengo un problema acá con el tema de live timing. Igual lo voy a estar arreglando, pero bastantes problemas con el tema de live timing.
tires didn't put that many laps on them, they will put them on at that 75-lap race break. Track position is obviously going to be critical here. You want the lead late, and don't beat yourself. Don't make a mistake. Don't make a mistake on pit road. Don't make a mistake running into a lap car. With this big field that you'd mentioned, Eric.
One lap down in 24th. He's hoping for a quick yellow and free pass before some of the other cars fall laps off the leaders. It's a PRG front row with Tristan McKee and Carson Brown bringing us back to 186 laps to go.
Have a nitro second row. Look at Jake Ballman
running side by side with Miller just behind. And Quapple in the SPS number 24 also getting closer as McKee checks out by a half second.
Yeah, 6-8 car length lead right now for Tristan McKee. Remember, Tristan was here last year, finished third in this race last year. Carson Brown was telling me that he ran a super late model race here at Toledo, first time in an ARCA Menards car.
And he loves this place in the super. That confidence can roll right over to the ARCA car as Annunziata's under fire from the number 24 as we check in on Isaac Kitzmiller, who's having a really solid day, trying to get up to some of the fights that are further up the road as Isaac has cracked the top 5.
Could be a breakout year for Isaac. We talked about him winning that series championship last year. Going to have a little bit more of an ambitious schedule this year. A few more National Series races for Isaac this year.
Jan Koliak in 71 trying to challenge the points leader Bowman for a podium spot. Bit of a slide there for the 71 car. Now, Jan Koliak comes into this night third in points, only 14 markers behind the car he's chasing, without intentions to run the whole year. In fact, they weren't going to run this race. They added it by virtue of the win at Talladega. And if he stays in championship contention, maybe they could try to scratch and claw enough partners to go for that title.
Yeah, in addition to adding this race, they also added Michigan, which is our next ARCA Menards race in a couple weeks.
Next question mark for the 71, Berlin and Elko. The back-to-back short track races will have to kick off the summer stretch of ARCA competition. They're hoping they could find some partners, and they are proving that they have been very fast just about everywhere that they have gone this season.
A huge win, a popular win, I think, with everybody involved. All his competitors, as well as fans, when he won that race at Talladega just a few weeks ago.
Starting to get some pressure, though, from Isaac Kitzmiller, who has reeled in the battle for third. Now 3 cars deep, and a gap back to Caden Quapple. Holds down 6th spot.
You know, when we were talking about Max Reeves hoping for a quick caution, it's not automatic that he's going to get the free pass when the caution does come out, because they're lapping cars so fast that right now he's 4th in line for the free pass if the caution were to come out.
About a half lap behind the leader, so the leader's going to keep blitzing through the tail end of the pack. We keep our eyes peeled on this fight for 4th with Jan Koliak and Kitzmiller.
With Brad Smith, driver from Michigan, over 450 starts in the ARCA Menards Series for Brad Smith.
Here is the leader, Tristan McKee, who has checked out. 2+ seconds, the gap back to his teammate Carson Brown. Ullman, Jankowiak, Kitzmiller, your top 5. And McKee, who had what looked to be top 3 speed at Watkins Glen on the road course last time out, where he won his first career race a year ago. But an unfortunate mechanical problem bit them late, relegating him to an 18th place finish, trying to rebound the best way possible by getting his first potential win on a short track, and also his first of the season.
Eagler.com, I think that's a car dealership concern. They have a lot of franchises in Michigan. Obviously, we're just a few miles from the border of Michigan and Ohio.
With this being a combination race with the E-Series, Reeves is also the E-Series points leader after capturing wins at 2 of the races they've run already this season, courtesy of success there with that team.
Almost a 2.5 second lead now. There's Carson Brown. Carson Brown also running the ASA Series. Already 2 wins this year in their 2 races. He will be full-time in the ASA National Series. The super late models.
There's our championship points leader, Jake Bowman, looking for that first career win after finishing second at Daytona. So you get a little bit loose there off into the corner, but still trying to hold down the championship points lead. The driver closest in the standings, the one closest to him in the running order, Jankowiak, who's got a back bumper full of Kitzmiller. Jankowiak holding down fourth.
Looks like Isaac is ready to go there, but Andy Jankowiak, one of our fan favorites for sure. Tough week for Andy Jankowiak, as one of his longtime friends and former car owner passed away. But Andy said he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for people like Steve.
Yeah, not only his best friend, but as you said, his car owner as well. Steve Mendoza. Our hearts go out to the Mendoza family. Andy said he was so happy to get that win at Talladega while Steve was still with us, because it felt like it paid off all the taxes that Steve did to help him get to that point. And he's hoping to do it again in his friend's honor and memory.
Solid run so far for Isaac Kitzmiller, running up in the top 5 against a stacked field. Really competitive field here. Doing a nice job. Looks like he has a little faster car right now than Jankowiak, but having a faster car doesn't necessarily mean you can just drive right by somebody. So he's going to try to take advantage maybe in some traffic, or if Andy was to slip up a little bit.
We're on the outside of Alex Clark right now in the 03, and like our leader Tristan McKee, Kitzmiller too, coming off of a mechanical-related DNF in our last race out at Watkins Glen, but loves the chances to race head-to-head with his dad, who's a couple of spots behind him.
Things have settled down a little bit now. We're getting close to halfway through this first segment of the race. As you mentioned, we'll have that race break on or around lap number 75.
Here's Caden Quapple in the Sigma Performance Services number 24, making his ARCA Menards Series debut. There was a lot of appreciation for the Quapple family towards this team. Also some longtime partners, including Tom Keene, CorvetteParts.net, Lake Norman Mechanical. And look at the sticker on the hood of the car, Filter Time. That's the company owned by Blake Cook and Dale Earnhardt Jr. They announced they wanted to support Caden tonight. Caden, of course, full-time in the Cars Tour, driving for Junior Motorsports, two-time winner there, and the points leader. And they said this was the best race to make this debut effort, because it doesn't conflict with the Cars Tour schedule. Caden's doing a great job.
Certainly in the genes. His dad, Travis, Truck Series champion from 2003, and you know what his brother Carson's been doing in the O'Reilly Series.
Thomas Annunziato, winner at Lime Rock Park last year, debuting some new colors and a new look with some support for not only JBL, but also Bayshore Mortgage Funding LLC, jumping on board with Annunziata, as he tied his season best finish of 3rd last week at Watkins Glen, 4th in the points, trying to make up ground.
Here's Max Reeves. Remember, Max is flat down, right now being shown 16th position, but there's several cars in front of him that are 1 lap down as well. If the caution were to come out right now, he would not car way off the pace. That was Michael Maples, who may have a bit of a problem. He's still rolling a bit gingerly to the top side, but Phil, this has been the best story of the race, bar none. And we mentioned dead last because of an engine problem in practice. I looked at our first caution, and she was already up in the top. Hard to make up ground in the championship standings. 6 coming into this race, 43 markers out, 2 top 10 finishes, and we're starting the season with so much bad luck. It appeared that bad luck returned, but the Nitro Motorsports busted their tail in the infield to get this car ready to make the grid. And Isabella's making a great show right now. Yeah, she's one of our champions. Contenders that we talked about. Put herself in a little bit of a hole, as you just mentioned, but again, those 2 good runs back-to-back certainly help. Up to 8. Meanwhile, Michael Maples did limp his car back to the pit area, albeit under green, but we do remain under green track conditions. Still the leader. We talk about the huge field of cars here, and again, a lot of those cars don't quite have the pace of some of our lead lap cars. Seems like you're never by yourself. You can never get a lap by yourself without having some lap cars to negotiate. There's the dad. There's Jason Kitzmiller. Again, we're joking with him in the garage area. He's had so much trouble. Oh, wow. A big hit for Jankowiak, Takuma Koga, and Rita Goulet. Jankowiak was running in the top 5, and that's the first time in some time that we've seen the styrofoam barriers at Toledo take a walloping impact. And the front end of that car is destroyed. Koga's back underway, but look at the right front damage to Andy J. Now it looks like he's blocked in by those styrofoam blocks. Rita Goulet as well in the 13
car. Goulet and Koga were both off the lead lap. Jankowiak running in at the top 10 spot. He is doing everything that he can to try to drive that car away from the scene, but it doesn't appear it's going to be possible. The Talladega winner running in the top 5 at the time, and this is the after effect of the incident.
It almost looked like where Andy J is, it may be the 13 of Goulet and the 12 of Koga got together. Andy came along and they slid up the racetrack right in front of him is what it looked like.
And Andy has figured out that he will not be able to drive the Kloss Motorsports number 71 away from the scene. And, you know, from the highest of highs with the win at Talladega, now running over to try to check the side of the car. As we mentioned, racing with a very, very heavy heart today, along with all of his teammates and many of his friends up in the Northeastern community in honor of his pal Steve Mendoza. And Andy, being the racer that he is, looks to be doing a little bit of a post-mortem on that race car.
Yeah, it looked like there was too much damage to that right front. It was certainly askew. That might be able to get that car back out to limp around, but certainly not going to be competitive at all.
Again, Andy came into this race 14 markers out of the championship points lead, 2 points behind Ryan Vargas that he was well ahead of at the time. And you see Andy trying to indicate that he would like a shot to get this car back to the pit area. But because he's unable to drive it away, I'm not sure that he's going to be offered up that opportunity without getting checked out first. Andy J, the multi-time indoor auto racing series champion, also won several modified tour type modified series events throughout his career before transitioning up to a chance to race on a national scale in the ARCA Menards Series. And the partnership with Kevin LaPierre and Andy Seiss has paid dividends ever since they began their relationship. They changed the number of the car this year to try to spawn some good luck, and it seems to have worked up until now. So while Jankowiak continues to try to negotiate a chance to get back in this race, we'll step aside under our second caution with McKee still the leader. Toledo Speedway knows how to bring the action with the ARCA Menards Series. We're under our second caution in the Owens Corning 200 after the driver, who was third in points, found not just the wall but also the styrofoam protective barriers that wrap around the outside corners of this racetrack. That is Jankowiak, who is being hauled back to the garage and pit area, and Rita Goulet's car also yet to roll from the scene. Now, in terms of the championship points, here is the picture coming into the 6th round of 20 in the season. As a matter of fact, this would be as they run right now. So Jake Bowman looking to extend that points lead by the single-digit margin over Ryan Vargas, but you can see the damage this inflicted on Andy Jankowiak's season at this point.
Yeah, good news for Vargas. He was able to get the free pass, so he is now one of 10 cars on the lead lap, over 50 laps into this race. See Jason Kitzmiller, Isabella Robusto back in 5th and 6th. Just 45 and 47 points back. But again, look for Robusto to maybe make her way closer to the front after starting dead last, already up to 7th.
Now, Ryan Vargas was a lap off the leaders. He did get the free pass by virtue of this caution, so he will get back on the lead lap, running in the top 10, trying to continue to maintain the advantage in front of a Thomas Annunziata, and also remain in striking distance with Jake Bowman, as he too is not sure if he will be able to continue to run for the title as these races roll on.
Good look at Bowman right there, running in the 3rd spot. Former winner in the West Series. One for Bill McAnally out there in the West.
4 top 10s on the season, lead all drivers, including the runner-up finish at Daytona, a 3rd-place effort at Kansas. He's also been spending a lot of time racing a late-model stock car over in the Carolinas, where he now resides after starting off his racing career on the West Coast in Huntington Beach, California. And currently has been the man in the ARCA Menards Series point standings up to this point, but still searching for win number 1 on the National Series.
But that's what makes it challenging for him, because we talk about the championship contenders now. Obviously, it's going to be a huge hit for Andy J. But Thomas Annunziata and Isabella Robusto, they also drive for Nitro Motorsports as well. So it's not like he can have a competitive advantage with equipment, because they all have the same stuff. And a great team over the great crew chiefs all among all those cars.
Yeah, Nick Tucker made sure that he assembled an all-star group, continuing the tradition of what was the remnants of the Venerini Motorsports organization. As you see the crowd that has come out to this racetrack, they were supposed to start the regular season at Toledo here back in April. That event got rained out, so as fate would have it, a staple on the ARCA calendar with this ARCA race moving up to May on the slate. It's a great way to kick off a season of racing here at a racetrack that means so much to this region and ARCA as well.
Yeah, and so much to my family as well. I grew up only 50 miles away in Detroit, so I think I spent every weekend at Flat Rock Speedway and at Toledo Speedway growing up.
Now, Max Reeves, who was the defending winner of this race when it was the finale last season, still scored in 13th, still 1 lap down, and as they are going to restart this race, he will not be in position to receive the free pass. Here's what happened in the battle for the lead early.
See Tristan McKee on the inside. He moves up the racetrack because they have that lap car. I think he was just trying to make some room. They make contact. Tristan got a little bit sideways, obviously cut that left rear tire for Max. You can see it right there, already down on the wheel. Max just about saved that car. But Thomas Annunziata is going to come right by in that orange and black number 70 and do a great job.
Was not a lot of room between the 18 car and the concrete backstretch wall, but Annunziata threaded the needle, with Reeves now trying to fight on despite some still evident body damage on the back end of that race car from the brush with the concrete. Reeves has been quick, and the hope may be this run could be small enough for him to work his way up into that free pass spot before the leader gets back to some of the cars on the tail end of the lead lap, because this may be a short stretch to that first on or around lap 75 race break we're anticipating.
Yeah, exactly. He just needs a few laps to try to get himself in that free pass position. Then he needs all those drivers that are on the lead lap. And I think all those drivers that are on the lead lap should be able to stay on the lead lap. We talked about Ryan Vargas getting the free pass. Ryan's got some pretty good pace, but everyone else should comfortably be able to stay on the lead lap till we get to that break.
So Reeves coming off the win on the ARCA Menards E-Series at Nashville. Currently 2nd in championship points there to the driver who is currently leading this race, Tristan McKee, ahead of his teammate Carson Brown, Jake Bowman, Isaac Kitzmiller having a fantastic day And Caden Quapple, who, joking with his father earlier, said, I know that there's always a bit of a sibling rivalry between Caden and Carson. Carson finished second in his ARCA debut. You think those two got a bit of a wager? He said, you know how they are. Of course they do. I can guarantee you Caden wants to win this race more so to beat out Carson with what he did than for any other reason.
A lot of talent in that family for sure.
2 laps from getting the race back underway. Reminder, in the ARCA Menards Series, only the leader has the option of lane choice. Everybody else will funnel into line based on their odd or evening number of position. So it will be up to McKee to decide if he wants to be on the inside or outside of the front row. And similar, Phil, a difference from what we see on some of the NASCAR National Tours, no restart zone, just a restart line.
And the guy that's the control car has to launch first and get to that line first.
That control car for the upcoming restart will be the 77 of McKee. It's a great week for McKee. Just last week, one of the full-time drivers for Spire, Michael McDowell, said in one of his media availability sessions, this kid is the real deal. And he even forecasted that potentially McKee may take his ride when he's ready to hang up his helmet. That's a lot of praise from a driver who's raced a lot of different things and had a lot of success on road courses like McKee. Very similar resumes up to this point in their career, with McKee focusing more so on the stock car side of things now.
Yeah, and Michael McDowell also has a Daytona 500 win under his belt.
I'm sure that is something McKee is eyeing as a long-term objective for him. Same for the car on the outside. Teammate Carson Brown going to restart in second spot. Jake Bowman, Isaac Kitzmiller in row 2. Row 3, Caden Quapple, Thomas Annunziata. It's Isabella Robusto and Jason Kitzmiller. Your top 8 as we get set to restart this race about 15 laps shy of our first expected race break on or around lap 75 with the Pinnacle Racing Group teammates McKee and Brown getting us back underway.
There, that first of those 2 white lines across the racetrack was the restart line. Nice jump by McKee.
Look at this shot from high above as Brown slips off the second turn, but not enough to open up the door for Bowman as Quapple and Kitzmiller have a go of it for 4th off turn 4.
How about Isaac Kitzmiller on the outside hanging with Carson Quapple? Caden Quapple, excuse me.
We were betting on which one of us was going to do it first.
Totally. I'll probably call him a Travis before it's all said and done, too.
Caden Quapple up into 4th. I mix up the Kitzmillers all the time. Isaac Kitzmiller back to 5th. And there's an Annunziata, and I love this shot. Where the sun is right now, you can see how busy these drivers are off corner 4.
There's Robusto, remember, started dead last. That emphasized what a nice job she's done early on in this race to put herself in a competitive position.
And also for Isabella on the mental side, as you see Max Reeves, who is currently in the free pass spot just behind, a lap off the leaders in 11th, probably praying for a caution before McKee catches the tail end of the field. But for Isabella, with the amount of bad luck she had to start the season, she's displaying a lot of mental fortitude here to put the practice problem behind, having to start at the back behind and focusing solely forward on moving forward as she's up to 7th.
Max Reeves is going to try to make his way around the outside. Again, this pass means nothing to Max Reeves. He just has to hope that Ryan Vargas, who is now almost 9 seconds behind because of getting the free pass, he had to start at the tail end of the longest line. That's what puts him so far behind right now.
While the race stays green, problems for our bounty rookie spotlight driver, Jackson McLaren. He's limped in Unmanned Motorsports number 95 to the pit area, as Reeves hopes the race break will come on or around lap 75 as initially planned.
I think Vargas is going to be fine to stay on that lead lap, and will put Max Reeves back in contention if Ryan can hold on for another 8 laps.
It appears right now Max does not seem like he has to get around Isabella, as she got tagged by Dale Scherer going around the outside of the 98.
I know Max would like to get by Isabella, but it is not necessary. It will not change anything for him.
He is continuing to hold his breath at the next yellow flies before McKee gets up to Vargas, as he looks down low again on Isabella for what is not a battle for position. Going to get pinned here behind the number 34 car of Barbaro, making his ARCA Menards Series national debut with Brian Barbaro in that 34. Reeves now trying the high side, a little bit of a crossover here on Isabella, but pedals it off in the 3 as he sees Austin Vaughn up ahead, who scored 17, however 3 laps off the leaders right now, and another one of the Maples Motorsports cars.
Yeah, just 3-4 laps away from this race break. All these drivers and teams an opportunity to work on these cars. It's going to be curious to see the strategy because of the limited amount of tires that these teams have to choose from.
Yeah, a bit of a change. You mentioned tire conservation or tire management as one of your keys to the race. Bit of a change in some of the allotment in terms of the number of tires available, as Reeves is going to get around Isabella here on the top side. But watch the 77 of McKee. He is on the same straightaway as Ryan Vargas, but I think Max is going to be okay here.
I do too. We may have some drivers stay out at this race break because we've only run 50 green flag laps. A lot of these teams ran more laps than that on their practice set of tires, which is the set of tires that they would have to put on right now.
And there was even some strategy by many of the teams as far as how many laps they were willing to run to try to set themselves up in a better position for race time. Reeves still showing that he's got pace with the 70 as now we hit the caution. Third of the race, but our first scheduled race break, and that will get Max Reeves back on the lead lap.
Yeah, Max Reeves' race just changed. He is now back on the lead lap, back in contention with a long way to go.
We're going to have 2 opportunities to see how this race break pit procedure plays out. As we mentioned, this is our first of scheduled 2. Max 4 crew members allowed over the wall. Teams are allowed to change tires and add fuel. The question of tire selection is a big variable in this race, and the restart order is going to be set by how they run now at the time of the caution. You cannot gain or lose spots on the pit lane. Saw from our shot high above, Jackson McLaren, the number 95, remains on pit road with the hood up. Heartbreak for him in his first start of the season. And here comes Reeves around the outside to get that lap back.
See, Max Reeves really has nothing to lose. He can come in because he's going to have to start at the tail end because of getting the free pass. He can come in and have Matt Ross's crew chief make some adjustments. They can put their practice tires on if they want. He can do about anything because he's going to start in the exact same spot no matter what.
The first race break of 2 in the Owens Corning 200 gets us to about 24 laps shy of halfway.
position is a point.
While the frantic work continues for the Kloss Motorsports team, much calmer approach. Place you know quite well. You've shown me around a good bit, but this speedway means a lot to you and your family.
It sure does. And every time I come here, I get to see some of my friends. I saw my brother Benny's championship winning crew chief Ralph Young, who I always see, never misses a race here. My buddy Larry LeMay, that was a multi-time track champion at Mount Clemens and Checker Flag in Windsor, Ontario, and also crew chief for me back in the day in the Busch Series. So it's always fun to come back home.
Good bit of a reunion, and it shows with some of the prestige, nostalgia, and importance of this facility to so many people, and thankfully this racetrack is in great hands.
It certainly is. Great shape as well. A lot of the guys, it's been a while since this racetrack was repaved, and I was talking to Frank Kimmel, again, talk about the guy winning 9 times. He said the surface is still pretty good. It really doesn't lose a lot of grip. The tires don't fall off that much here.
We are getting set to see what this race will look like as we enter the second chapter of 3 in terms of how this race is being segmented, with the next scheduled race break coming on around lap 125. So it is the Pinnacle Racing Group duo of Tristan McKee and Carson Brown on the front row, Bowman and Caden Quapple row 2. Max Reeves is back on the lead lap, but he will be restarting towards the tail end of the field as we get set to get the Owens Corning 200 back underway with 120 laps to go.
What a great jump again by McKee on the button. Great view of a side-by-side battle for third.
For Isaac Kitzmiller. Gets down there, pokes his nose to the inside. Meanwhile, a lap ago, his father, Jason Kitzmiller, flirted with the wall at the exit of turn 2. No harm, no foul. Here's Isaac. This is for 4th.
Quapple doing a nice job hanging in there on the outside. Isaac definitely has the preferred line, and he has it.
That'll kick Caden Quapple back to the 5th spot. It's Isabella Robusto peeks to the inside of her teammate Thomas Annunziata just behind them in a battle for 6th.
I'm gonna shut the door on Isabella.
Quapple, since losing this position, is not going to try to give up just yet as Isabella gets to the inside of her teammate, coming up on the back of Michael Maples, who's a bit off the pace, but Isabella Robusto will make the pass on Annunziata. The charge up the running order from shotgun on the field for Isabella is 1 spot away from a top 5, with Quapple holding down that 5th spot for now.
Quapple wants that spot back from Isaac Kitzmiller. Again, those left sides down below the racing surface.
Here's Isabella rocketing her way back up towards the front of the field.
Yeah, not a surprise that she's running well here. 4th place finish in this race last year.
And a part of the season that Isabella is certainly going to be looking for before moving up to the ARCA Menards Series, along with some road racing ventures. Spent a lot of time racing short tracks and full-bodied stock cars, be it pro late models or late models. This is something she's very comfortable with, and it shows.
Keep an eye on Max Reeves. Max is moving in on the other lead lap cars.
Yeah, because Reeves was the recipient of the free pass, he had to start at the tail end of the field, with the exception of a handful of cars that allowed him by. And here's Reeves, dirt tracking it off the corner, trying to get 2 for 1 here. That's Wesley Slimp in the Nitro Motorsports number 25. He just got around Jason Kitzmiller in the 97 to move up to the 9th spot.
Yeah, these cars are all battling for position. Look, nice move there. Ooh.
Oh, he's going to get pinned behind Rita Goulet in the 3.
Wesley Slimp. Not a lot of oval track experience. He's a road racer. I was talking to the owner of Nick Tucker. Said he's really done a nice job here with, again, mostly a road racing background. And I was talking to him as Max is able to get by him to grab that 8th spot. He's got a couple more races, I think, planned with Nitro, as well as a couple more truck races planned. I think Richmond and Lime Rock. He was telling me that he has plans to run the truck series with Stuart Friesen's team.
Working with longtime veteran crew chief Shane Wilson. Got to eavesdrop on the debrief after the practice session between those two, and Shane was very complimentary of Wesley's approach as we got a caution on the racetrack. Yellow flag number 4 is going to come out. It's Rita Goulet who has spun off of turn number 4. Second bit of an incident we've seen for Goulet. What is a partnership with former racer himself, in fact still current racer, Ransom East races this season, Brian Weber. Goulet, the full-time Gastonia, North Carolina police officer, loops her car for the 2nd time tonight.
If she can get that car refired. I think she may be having an issue with the starter, because when she was involved in that earlier incident, she had to be towed back to the pits, was not able to refire that car.
Caution is out for the 4th time, 3rd time for cause. We are about 6 laps away from the halfway point of this race, with McKee still leading. Try to take a look at what happened to Rita Goulet coming off of turn 4.
He's on the inside. You see there's contact, bottom right side of your screen. It might have been the 19 of Austin Vaughn. There's another look there, middle of your screen.
Maples Motorsports car was able to drive away from the scene. And Goulet unfortunately did get the splitter down in the grass a little bit, so it appears that car could be beached, along with the potential starter issue that displayed itself. A few times already during this race. In what has already been a bit of a wild affair up to this point, with several storylines unfolding in real time in this race. As the track opens itself up for the first time in 2026, let's take a look at our Richmond Water Heaters mid-race report.
We've had 2 leaders, Tristan McKee and our pole sitter Max Reeves. We still have 12 cars on the lead lap. We've had those 2 lead changes, 4 cautions. Again, Tristan McKee has led 93 of our 99 laps.
Now, if you're just joining us as we hit this halfway point of this race, let's take a look at how things got going in the 200-lap affair here at Toledo. Green flag went in the air with Max Reeves on the pole, but before we got 10 laps in the books, McKee and Reeves made contact, and a half lap later, Reeves went around.
And watch this job by Annunziato. That's 70 to mix Max Reeves. Max fought and finally got back on the free pass. Big wreck for Andy J there, along with Koga and Rita Goulet.
McKee continued to be in command of the race, but on the lower side of your picture, you see almost recent yellow as Goulet gets sideways for the second time and needs help getting the car back to the pit area, while the track crew tries to sweep some of the sod back to a safe place. But again, just 2 leaders so far on this race after we saw the contact for the lead. But Max Reeves, after being trapped a lap down for a couple of cautions, now back on the lead lap. And since he got the free pass the last time, he had to start hang out back. As things stand right now, he'll be outside row 4 for this restart.
Yeah, I think we need to keep an eye on him. We know he's got a fast car, sat on the pole, fastest in practice. I look for Max Reeves to make his way towards the front. As you mentioned, he's able now to start with those lead lap cars, as opposed to the last time when he had to start at the very back.
So Max is going to be right up in the mix with McKee and Brown still the pace setters for this race. Also, we saw the big impact for Andy Jankowiak. He's back out there hoping to make up some ground with some cars that may have fallen out of the race already. And there may be a chance to do that, especially if there's some attrition that continues after they thrash to try to get that car back out as we're a lap away from the restart. Love this shot from high above this half mile, just to give an idea as to how beautiful this facility really is. If you have not seen any form of motorsport here before, it is a short track that certainly needs to be on your bucket list. And I'm not just saying that because the bar and grill is staying open an hour after the race.
Good shot of the great crowd we have here too as well. Again, that rain this morning, we were a little bit worried about the crowd, but they have come out in droves.
They've shown up and have been entertained with more to come. Just past the halfway point, Tristan McKee, Carson Brown, front row, Max Reeves outside row 4. Between them, drivers searching for opportunity. 98 to go.
Another great jump by McKee. Brown's going to be able to hold on to second easily. Just keep an eye on that black car. The cookout car for Max Reeves. Trying to get underneath Annunziato.
Oh, we caught the grass there a little bit with the left front. You talked about that, Phil. You said that grass could jump out and bite you, and it just about did, but it doesn't appear to be any damage to the left front of that race car.
And I think right now Max Reeves can run this car hard because he knows that in about 20 laps, we're going to put 4 new tires on that Toyota.
He gets another spot by Annunziata. Slip there in the middle of 1 and 2. Thomas going to try the crossover.
I think Max Reeves would like to see how far up he can get. Right now running in the 7th spot. He would restart on the 4th row. If he could grab another spot, he would restart in the 3rd row.
Get a look at McKee, left side, your leader, to the tune of about 0.6 of a second. Reeves on the right side of your picture, reeling in Isabella Robusto.
Can't say enough about the great job that Robusto has done after losing that engine in practice and starting at the very back, 28th to start this race.
Also a really good morale booster for the team as they pretty much had to pull in all available hands possible to make sure they got that motor swapped in time for the race, with this being a one-day show. But right now, she's got her hands full with Reeves. See how patient he's going to be as he's got a fender to the inside. This the fight for 6th.
Nice textbook move and pass by Reeves.
Isabella back to the bottom, but not close enough to keep a fender inside.
Hayden Quapple will be the next driver on the hit list. Oh, through the middle of lap cars.
Ooh. All right, Reeves got clipped there by Goulet while going. And not slowing him down. He's trying to reel in Quapple.
About 15 laps to go till we get the next race break.
Quapple got checked up a little bit there by Brad Smith, and that allows Reeves to close in as there's contact in front of him. Wow! Quapple was able to keep the car off of Jeff McConey, who got tagged and slid up wide, and Reeves went to the bottom.
Great job by Quapple to avoid that 86 car. And how about that move by Reeves to drive through the down the inside and get that spot, as well as missing McConey.
Thought for sure Caden was going up to the styrofoam. Thought for sure Reeves was going in the back of the second Club Motorsports entry of Jeff McConey, who got a hit from behind from the 4th place running Isaac Kitzmiller. And McConey doing a good job himself to keep the car off the wall. How about another Reese's Sweet Move of the Race nominee? And it is this. Watch the 79 into the back of McConey, and the split takes place.
A really nice save by McConey. You could see him on the brake, off the brake. Reeves did a great job getting him on the inside. Quapple did an awesome job keeping out of the outside styrofoam.
Don't forget ARCARacing.com Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern to see who is crowned with the Reese's Sweet Move of the Race, with already several contenders propelling themselves up towards the front. We've seen a lot of close calls tonight.
And how about Reeves now up to the 5th spot? He will restart on the inside in the preferred line, 3rd row. Good possibility of him getting another spot or two before the next race break.
Meanwhile, Takuma Koga is going to get one of his 2 laps back in what is going to be a quickie yellow for the ARCA Menards Series. Under this caution period, still about 10 laps away from what is scheduled to be our 2nd and final race break of the event, where, as we mentioned, we pretty much believe the agenda is going to be everyone put on 4 new tires at that time.
There's really no reason to pit here for any of these drivers. We saw Andy J come down pit road. I'm sure he wants further adjustments to that car. Amazing job by that team to get that car back on the racetrack.
Did see Isaac Kitzmiller, who was running up in the top 5, actually make his way to pit road. Not sure if he's got some sort of problem with the contact with the number 86 of McConey, but the dominant car today has definitely been Tristan McKee with those 108 laps led. But again, it came after contact with Reeves on lap 7 before the left rear tire was sliced and he fell to the back of the pack. Here's Jankowiak. And an update from the pit lane as far as the amount of work that they did on this car. Right front ball joint, right front upper control arm, right front shock to get this badly wounded car back out to try to gain some spots. And he's already gotten around Rita Goulet and Jackson McLaren, who are several laps down, hoping to get a few more if at all possible. What a valiant effort by this driver and team.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that control arm is why that right front tire was so askew after that contact with the outside styrofoam.
And here's Kitzmiller, who we saw come to the pit lane with the pits being open with the hood up.
Obviously, it looks like it's overheating.
Isaac was having one of his best ARCA National runs and results so far tonight, running in that 4th spot. Currently 3rd in the ARCA Menards East standings with 3 top 5 finishes to start the season there, with this serving as an East race as well. This could be very detrimental to his East Series title defense if they are unable to get that car back out on the racetrack, and he's also at risk of going a lap down here.
Yeah, tough break for Isaac Kitzmiller. Was doing a nice job running up in the top 5 in this very competitive field.
Kitzmiller falling out of that top 5. That's going to move Max Reeves to 4th. Isabella Robusto up into the top 5. Annunziata, Wesley Slimp 6th and 7th. Quapple, after having to get on the binders to miss that wreck, 8th. Jason Kitzmiller, Ryan Vargas, your top 10.
And I know there was no malicious intent when Tristan McKee got into the 18, but I'm not sure that the 18 is going to feel that way. So he probably forgot about it, wouldn't you think?
He does have the nickname Mad Max, so I guess we're going to learn if he gets to McKee, will it show? As you saw a quick look at the box score there, getting drop kicked to match the car number in 18 spot after the spin and battle to get back on the lead lap. He will be just 1 row behind the car that he came together with that resulted in the flat tire.
They're going to have a short run to this next race break. We'll restart the race with about 6 laps to go till that race break.
Obviously, the future is very bright for several drivers in this field, but McKee, you notice the numerals match what you would see on Sunday with Spire. This is a Pinnacle Racing Group entry. It is a Pinnacle Racing Group fielded car, but Tristan has a driver development deal with Spire. We talked about the words of Michael McDowell and what he said, and the same can be said for the team car, Carson Brown. He's in the RCR developmental pipeline, both showing the talent that many people have been able to see. and we get to watch it firsthand on a very tough challenge at a very tough racetrack. And I spoke to Carson about racing Tristan specifically earlier today and said, are there any rules between you two? And he said, truthfully, Tristan and I are great friends off the racetrack. We may have rubbed doors a little bit at Watkins Glen last week, but the racetrack, it's every man for himself, and we'll shake hands afterwards. A veteran mentality for these two young men who have very bright futures.
Yeah, it's inevitable that they're both really good drivers and really good cars. It's inevitable they're going to be racing around each other, and again, sometimes that contact is inevitable as well.
So they will continue to make up the front row with that beautiful looking pace car parading the field for what may be about a 5 or 6 lap run to close out this portion of the race before our next scheduled race break. McKee and Brown on the front row. Bowman and Reeves row 2. Robusto rounds out the top 5. It'll be a sprint to wrap up the second state of this race. Here comes McKee to the restart line.
A little bit of tire spin, I believe, by Brown.
That was tight off the corner. Bowman trying to muscle his way up to second. Bounces off the side of Brown, who is slow to get up to speed on the restart.
Brown's trying to get back to the outside, try to stay against that right rear quarter panel. Isabella doing a nice job racing Max Reeves for 4th.
They too just about come together on the backstretch, and a heartbreaker for Caden Quapple, who is off the pace. He's dropped to the tail end of the field, but continues on the racetrack. Robusto around Reeves.
How about that?
Annunziata watching this fight continue as Reeves continues to flirt with the backside of the 55 car. Maybe thinking about using the bumper if he has to, but he hasn't done it just yet.
He knows right now that if he's able to get by Isabella, then that would be an outside restart for him, and he lost a spot because he restarted on the outside.
As did Carson Brown, who got kicked to 3rd after Bowman was able to make the physical pass. Reeves right on the tire tracks of Robusto, and he gives her a shot there in 2.
Just a slight nudge. Now he's going to move her up the hill to get around Rita Goulet.
Kicking the marbles up as they drift up into that 3rd lane. Now she's trying to get down. Annunziata, her teammate, up in the side of Robusto. She keeps right on the door of Annunziata. Now they'll try to get him back as they come off 4.
Drivers know the caution will come out any moment now. Ooh, Isabella's going to move Annunziata.
Evidently, she's had enough and gives it back to her Nitro Motorsports teammate to try to get back up into the 5th spot, wanting that inside shot on the restart as the caution flies. Ah, that was a fun one. All the rooting and gouging. And we're not even in the final quarter of this race. And I think we saw ourselves another Reese's Sweet Move of the Race nominee. With all of this happening, Reeves around Robusto.
He has to move up to get around the 13 of Goulet. A little bit of contact there, but that opens up the bottom for Annunziata, and he's going to muscle his way by Isabella because he's going to move up to get around the 86 of McConey.
Isabella tried to use one of the lap cars as a pick twice, and both times she got forced up into the 3rd groove.
That's when Isabella was able to get back by Annunziata.
At the time of the caution, Isabella holding on to that coveted 5th spot, which will be inside of row 3. ARCARacing.com Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern. I think we've got about 4 or 5 contenders right now with just over 70 laps still to go in this race. We got to see who walks away with the Reese's Sweet Move from a very physical Toledo Speedway. This got to be hype for all the short track races this year. This has been awesome.
Without a doubt. 8 short tracks on the ARCA Menards Series schedule.
See some of the battle scars on both sides of the 55. Same with her teammate behind, Annunziata, with a bit of a ding in the passenger side door of his number 70 machine. We are not done yet. Speaking of some of the races upcoming, here's what you have to look forward to for the ARCA Menards Series. The 2-mile oval at Michigan, June 5th, and a much-anticipated return to Pocono on June 12th. That'll be on FS1. And then we're back to the short tracks with Berlin and Elko.
How about revisiting Chicagoland Speedway, that 1.5 miles in Joliet, Illinois?
Much anticipated return to Chicagoland there as well. That's going to be a fun one. Again, all of the races will be visible across the Fox family of networks. For more information, visit arcaracing.com. The pit lane has been opened. Teams will now address their race cars for one final time.
Same rules as you talked about before. The first break, these teams will be allowed to change 4 tires, be allowed to put fuel in them, just not simultaneously. 4 crew members over the wall. And the restart order will be the same order that we came onto pit road with.
Bo mentioned that is why we saw the very intense fight for 5th spot with Isabella, knowing that she wanted to be on the bottom, because the last restart, both cars that started on the outside of the front 2 rows lost spots. So it could be a chance for Isabella to maybe get up to a podium spot on the next restart. A great crowd has come out here to this facility on a wonderful night. We talked about, was threatened by rain in the morning hours. A lot of that rain sat, over the greater Detroit area for a good part of the afternoon as well, but it cleared up here for us to fire these cars off for their 3 p.m. scheduled practice. And the fans have come out and supported it in a large capacity, with this race moving back into this portion of the calendar after serving as the finale for several years.
And remember, you talk about how beautiful the weather is now. It was about 155 degrees when we were here last time, last fall for the finale.
In October, no less.
Yes.
Well, the green light has been given to the teams to start their work, and that is exactly what they will do. Last chance for the teams to make adjustments for the run to the checker. money on Max or not. And how about this? Within sightline, a Menards store just a stone's throw from the racetrack. Tremendous partner of the series. And a tremendous place to go save some big money.
Well, I think we visited there today, Eric.
We did. We weren't prepared for the inclement weather, so we had to go get us some umbrellas, and Menards hooked us up. So thank you to them.
And as soon as we got the umbrellas, it stopped raining.
Yes, that's what do they call that? Reverse psychology.
I think so. And the chairs we're sitting on came from Menards as well.
We've been talking a lot about the comeback of Max Reeves, Isabella Robusto, and her blazing trail from the back of the field to the front. But just before this caution, she had physical run-ins with Reeves in the 18, the car that she's going to be restarting just behind, trying to get a spot on the restart, and her teammate Thomas Annunziata, who will be starting driver's right. So we'll see if any of that behavior leads over to the final 70 laps of this race.
And we had just talked about teammates battling like Tristan McKee and Carson Brown, how the fact that they're both in good cars, both good drivers, same situation for Annunziata and Isabella. It's inevitable that they're going to be in close proximity to each other.
Had a conversation with the Nitro Motorsports team owner Nick Tucker earlier in the year, and he said same rule kind of applies for them as well in terms of how they are to race each other. Be smart during the race. When the pay window opens, all bets are off.
And remember, all these young drivers are trying to get to that next level. What a great developmental series we have here in our Menards Series. So, I mean, a win on your resume is going to look a lot better than a second-place finish.
Even some of the names that we saw that have won here in recent history, where their careers have taken them to the Cup Series, the O'Reilly Series, and more. The path to success from ARCA to the next level is quite linear, and these drivers know that. So Jake Bowman, the points leader, worked his way up to second just before that race break caution came out. McKee's still the leader in control car on the restart. Then it's Carson Brown, Max Reeves, Isabella Robusto, Thomas Annunziata, Wesley Slimp, Ryan Vargas, Jason Kitzmiller, and Craig Pellegrini Jr. having a great day in the top 10 as we're back underway, and wheel spin from Brown and Bowman, as Bowman now cuts to the bottom to take sole possession of second, with Reeves ripping up the top.
Watch that 18 of Max Reeves. If he can grab this second spot from Bowman, hard into the corner.
Bowman trying to keep his car to the inside. He washes up the track a little bit, and Reeves is up to second.
What a drive by Max Reeves from a lap down. Now running second inside of our leader.
Now, what does that car have toe-to-toe with the leader and dominant car of the day in McKee as Bowman gets back into the picture? Almost up to the left rear quarter panel of Reeves in his fight for second. That's Poland, Brown, and Annunziata back in the frame.
Yeah, I thought you might see Max Reeves drive away from Bowman, but Bowman was right there, actually just about got a nose up underneath of Max Reeves.
We saw Carson Brown burp the back tires coming up through the gears as well. That cost Robusto a spot to Annunziata, who restarted to her outside. Annunziata back in the top 5.
There's a good look at Annunziata, again, one of our championship contenders.
The bad news for some of those drivers chasing a title, like Annunziata, like Isabella Robusto. The car that is running third, still best in class of the full-timers, and that is Jake Bowman, with McKee and Reeves running those part-time slates, chasing trophies.
Yeah, but a long way to go in this season, too. And we talk about the diversity of this schedule. We have dirt races, another road course race, some intermediates, and 7 more short tracks after this one.
And Bowman has not allowed Max Reeves to get away. McKee's opened up a 1-second advantage back to what is now a 3-car battle for the runner-up position.
And that McKee car just continues to be the fastest car on the racetrack each and every lap, unless he catches traffic in a bad spot. Bowman is all over the back of Max Reeves. Max got a little bit sideways off of turn 4.
Reeves with a slip there off that 4th corner and unable to keep his car pinned down to the bottom. Late apex off of turn 2 for Reeves. That gives him a good drive down the backstretch. Bowman to the inside as they come off 4, as the car bottoms out on corner exit.
That battle makes its way around the 48 of Brad Smith.
06, Nate Moeller in the Wayne Peterson car. Jeff McConey went for that slide. That shakes up Reeves a little bit, but not enough to allow Bowman to think about making a pass just yet. Behind them, Annunziata and Brown having a battle off turn 2.
3 wide around a lap car.
Bowman may have just scrubbed the wall there at the start-finish line as he is still hounding Reeves for second.
I was talking to Jake in the garage area and asked him how his car was after practice. He said, I'm not sure we have a good car for qualifying, but we really have some good race pace, and he's showing it.
His teammate Annunziata is about to join the party after getting around Carson Brown for that fourth spot. Here comes the 70. Hollywood about to make a movie out of this battle for second spot.
He is right there. I think Max Reeves is holding up Bowman now. McKee opens up over a 2-second lead on this battle for second.
Working their way around the top side of Barbaro. Still more traffic. A heavily congested half mile is what Toledo Speedway has become. The traffic may end up being the difference maker in this fight. McKee's been able to cut his way through the pack with relative ease. He's clear by 2 seconds.
Isabella Robusto, the fastest car on the racetrack that last lap.
And the reason yellow was a good break for Caden Quapple because he did fall to the tail end of the lead lap after the car did not get up to pace. Caution for the race break allowed him to restart back up towards the higher portion of the running order where he had been, and he's up to 6th.
Yeah, certainly in sight of the 25th running Carson Brown. Doesn't look like Carson Brown's car is as good after this most recent race break as it was before.
Here's a look at Reeves. 2 seconds the gap to McKee, hoping the traffic falls his way. Heading into the final quarter of the Owens Corning 200 here at Toledo. Here at ARCA, we will here at Toledo Speedway, we'll update you on the reason for the yellow when we come back to the Owens Corning 200 at Toledo.
Hola gente, ahora sí, regresamos. Estamos de nuevo con lo que sería la ARCA Menards Series. Mil disculpas a todos, la verdad, por desaparecerme, pero nada, ocurrieron algunas situaciones ahí y tuve que desaparecer por buen rato. Me perdí gran parte de la carrera, pero por lo que tengo entendido ocurrieron varias ocurrencias, ¿no? Y bueno, toca resaltar, ¿no?, el retorno de Max Reeves, porque estuvo remontando, fue de menos a más, estuvo realmente batallando, ¿no?, con el tráfico, y finalmente se dio la oportunidad de que, bueno, de que él pueda justamente no verse en esta situación de pelear por la bandera a cuadros. Apareció la bandera de precaución, no sabemos realmente cuál fue lo que ocasionó esta bandera amarilla, pero sí toca mencionar de que en las últimas 4 ediciones se ha estado resaltando acerca de que los pilotos del equipo de Joe Gibbs han ganado en esta pista en el pasado, y toca mencionar justamente, ¿no?, a la máquina número 18, porque han ganado con Ty Gibbs en 2021, han ganado con Sammy Smith en 2021 también, lo que fue la segunda visita, 2023 y 2024, con Williams Wallace, y 2025 con Max Reeves en la temporada pasada. Así que ha ganado en las últimas 5 ocasiones en el cual la categoría estuvo en esta pista. Vemos que Toledo Speedway es la 6ª fecha del calendario, y toca mencionar al respecto de que la próxima fecha va a ser en Michigan el 5 de junio. Esto no será hasta dentro de 2 semanas, o sea, no será ni la próxima semana ni la otra semana, será dentro de 3 semanas por ahí aproximadamente, sí, dentro de 3 semanas. Se vendrá la 6ª fecha de la temporada en Michigan. Y se va a venir el reinicio, gente, así que estaremos atentos a lo que se vaya a venir este reinicio. Con Tristan McKee al frente, recordemos que en la vuelta número 7 se originó, ¿no?, el contacto entre la máquina 77 y la máquina número 18 de Max Reeves, provocando que este último terminará sufriendo, ¿no?, una llanta cortada. Y ahora se ve en las posibilidades de pelear por la bandera a cuadros. Reinicio en la pista de Toledo. Contacto entre la máquina número 70 de Thomas Annunziata con el 18 de Max Reeves. De costado lo veíamos al 70. Sin embargo, no pasó a más, pero qué salvada de parte de Thomas Annunziata. Uy, acá vemos pelea entre Jake Bowman y el 18 de Max Reeves. Otra llanta me parece. Otra llanta me parece para el 18 de Max Reeves. A ver, algo le pasó al 18. Se está quedando. ¿Podría ser una llanta baja? Quizás. Estamos viendo que cae en el orden. Tristan McKee sigue al frente de Jake Bowman en la segunda posición. Se cae en el orden Max Reeves. Podría ser que finalmente se acaba la hegemonía de Joe Gibbs Racing en esta pista en Toledo. Van a quedar 37 vueltas para el final de esta competencia. La sexta fecha de la temporada. Cae hasta el 10º lugar. Ryan Vargas sube al 8º lugar. Uno de los principales perseguidores en la lucha del campeonato. Con Jake Bowman, que está ubicado en la segunda posición buscando su primera victoria en la categoría. La pelea por posición entre el de PRG, Carson Brown, contra la máquina número 24 del SPS Racing, el Sigma Performance Service. Máquina 24, se trata de Caden Quapple, que está haciendo su debut. Ahora tenemos al piloto del Sigma Performance Service atacando a la máquina 28. Caden Quapple contra Carson Brown. Cambio, avanza Caden Quapple, el debutante. Trata de regresar Carson Brown. Sin embargo, se queda corto en el intento y mantiene en la quinta posición. Chevrolet, Toyota, Chevrolet, los primeros 5 lugares. Isabela Robusto viene ubicada en la sexta posición. Jason Kitzfelder está séptimo. Octavo aparece Wesley Slim. Noveno aparece Max Reeves. Décimo ya aparece Ryan Vargas. Hay 12 autos en la vuelta del puntero. El último en la vuelta del líder está Takuma Koga. En caso de que salga la bandera de precaución, el pase libre sería para Quinn Davis, la chica que viene en la máquina 85 del City Garage Motorsports con 2 vueltas perdidas. Se encontraron acá con la máquina 12+1 de Rita Goulet, la piloto de 42 años de edad. Faltan 33, van a quedar 32 en el próximo paso por la línea de meta. Por ahora, Tristan McKee maneja una diferencia de 2.5 segundos con respecto al segundo lugar. La vuelta más reciente fue más rápido Jake Bowman, sin embargo, no puede sacarse el asedio de la máquina número 70 de Thomas Annunziata. ¡Uy! Trompo, máquina 06. Creo que era Nate Mueller, lo acaba de salvar justo fuera de la toma. Veía que la máquina número 06 de Nate Mueller terminaba derrapando, saliendo de la curva 4. No hay bandera de precaución, faltan 31. No era el 06. Si no me equivoco, puede ser que haya sido Jeff McConey en el 86. Vi un 6. No sé si fue el 86 o el 06, pero vi a alguno de ellos dos que casi lo pierde saliendo de la curva 4. Takuma Koga ingresó a Pix. Estaba en la vuelta del puntero, ahora se ubica con 3 vueltas abajo, en el 13º lugar. Ray Pellegrini Jr. es el último auto dentro de la vuelta del puntero, vuelta 172. Se encontraron con Austin Barbaro en la máquina 34. Este es Thomas Annunziata, buscando su segunda victoria en la categoría. Corre a tiempo completo con el equipo de Nitro Motorsports. Es Austin Barbaro en el 34, viene con la vuelta perdida, viene con 24 vueltas abajo. Por ahora la diferencia es de 2.8 segundos. Sigue creciendo la diferencia de Tristan McKee con respecto a Jake Bowman. En caso de ganar, esta sería apenas, si no me equivoco, la segunda victoria del equipo del PRG. Porque esta temporada ganó Joe Gibbs Racing con Gio Ruggiero en Daytona y en Kansas. En Phoenix ganó el equipo de PRG con Tristan McKee llevándose la victoria. Perdón, con Carson Brown llevándose la bandera de cuadros. La tercera carrera fue Kansas. La cuarta fue la carrera ganada por Andy Jankowiak. La quinta y la más reciente fue ganada por Kenny Honeycutt. Esta serie, sí, ahí está, corrigiéndome, sería la segunda victoria del equipo del PRG. Pero en esta oportunidad con Tristan McKee, que apenas tiene una victoria, que fue en el Watkins Glen el año pasado. La temporada pasada solamente logró una victoria. La semana pasada, lamentablemente, un problema mecánico lo relegó en las posiciones. Recordemos que él está peleando por el campeonato de la ARCA del Este y es el puntero del campeonato. En caso de ganar, sería su tercera victoria en la temporada en la ARCA del Este, pero es su segunda victoria en la serie nacional de la ARCA Menards Series. Estamos viendo a este muchacho de la máquina 77, piloto de reserva del equipo de Espero Motorsports, uno de los pilotos experimentados que busca justamente, ¿no?, lograr esa hazaña de correr, de ser parte de la alineación de SCAP dentro de unos 3 a 4 años atrás. Dentro de unos 4 años probablemente. Uy, Max Swift complicado. Pareciera que Max Swift está teniendo problemas con la potencia del auto. Pareciera que no tuviera potencia Max Swift. Algo le está pasando a esa máquina número 18. La cuestión es que viene ahora, justamente, mira, ahí está, otra vez en dificultades, la máquina 18 de Max Swift. Algo le ha pasado. Tiene algún problema mecánico que lo está obligando, ¿no?, a caer hasta el 10º lugar. De hecho, ahí está justamente, ¿no? Va a pasarlo Craig Pellegrini Jr. por el puesto número 10. Va a perder la vuelta, va a perder el giro probablemente porque Tristan McKee viene justamente atrás. Ahí está Tristan McKee. Ojo, porque podría ser tranquilamente, ¿no? Esto una retaliación por parte de Max Swift. Veremos. Lo deja pasar. Ok. Y más 19 van a quedar 18 en el próximo paso por la línea de meta. Mañana tenemos en vivo con la carrera de las estrellas, el All-Star Race en la pista de Toledo Speedway. Y también estaremos en vivo con la fecha número 2 de la serie FRC iRacing Series en Charlotte. Vamos acá al puntero del campeonato, a Jake Bowman, que por este resultado va a salir más que puntero para cuando se camine a la fecha en Pocono Raceway, que será el 5 de junio. Ubicado en la segunda posición, ya 3.1 la diferencia entre el primer y el segundo lugar. Dos autos de Nitro Motorsport ubicados en los primeros 3 lugares. Ahí lo tenemos a la máquina número 18. No sé si a quién se lo va a encontrar. Con alguien se va a encontrar Max Swift. Con alguien se va a querer encontrar. ¿Con quién? No estoy muy seguro, pero algo va a pasar ahí con ese 18. Que viene lento, viene ya con una vuelta abajo. Aparta del camino de Thomas Annunziata. A ver qué pasa acá. ¿Será con Thomas Annunziata de pronto? No, no creo. Ahora tenemos al 24 de Kaden Quapple, el debutante, ubicado en la 4ª posición del Sigma Performance Service. Y siendo perseguido por la máquina 28 de Carson Brown, ganador en Phoenix esta temporada. Segunda victoria en la temporada y en la categoría. Uy, mira cómo se encontraron acá con Max Swift. Se complicó Kaden Quapple con la máquina 18 de Max Swift. Y hay cambio en el 4º lugar. Avanza Carson Brown, relega a Kaden Quapple, la 5ª posición. Faltan 14 en Toledo. Va a tratar de regresar la máquina número 24. Kaden Quapple, el debutante, se encontró con Jeff McConaughey, igual que el 48 de Brad Smith. Repetición acá, vean la situación que vivió justamente el 24. Se encontró con Max Swift, no pensó que iba a estar tan lento. Pasa el piloto del PRG, supera al de SPS. Ahora pierde terreno Andy Jankova, que regresó a la competencia con el auto dañado, pero ahora sí trata de seguir en carrera. Después del accidente múltiple que sufrió en la primera parte de la competencia. Vuelta abajo ya para Ryan Vargas. En caso de que salga la bandera precaución, el pase libre sería para él. Wesley Slimp es el último en la vuelta del puntero, ubicado en el 8º lugar. Faltan 11 vueltas para acabar esta competencia. Vamos a la máquina número 28 de Carson Brown, que se está tratando de escapar de Kaden Quapple y de hecho lo consigue. Se encontraron con el 03 de Alex Clark, que viene ubicado en el puesto número 14 con 6 vueltas abajo. Ganó las primeras 2 carreras de la temporada Tristan McKee. Ganó en Hickory y ganó en Rockingham. La de Nashville se la llevó Max Swift. Así que bajo esta norma, la ARCA del Este, tiene 2 victorias el PRG, mientras que el equipo de Joe Gibbs Racing apenas tiene 1 victoria. Esta es la 4ª fecha de la temporada de la ARCA del Este. Recordemos que la temporada de la ARCA del Este finaliza en Bristol Motor Speedway, cuando estén disputando lo que sería la penúltima fecha de la temporada de la ARCA Menards Nacional. Ryan Vargas tiene la vuelta perdiendo el giro, supera ahí Carson Brown, ubicado en la 9ª posición, sólido top 10 que está consiguiendo Ryan Vargas en un equipo modesto, el equipo de Michael Maples Motorsports. Últimas 7 vueltas para acabar este evento. Por ahora, situación bajo control para Tristan McKee, 4.3 segundos la diferencia con respecto al segundo lugar. Encontrado acá con el 06 de Ned Mueller. Viene con 11 vueltas abajo. Esta es la máquina 77. Se encontraron con Wesley Slim. A perder la vuelta la máquina número 25 del equipo de Nitro Motorsports. Van a quedar 5 vueltas en Toledo. Max Swift, que va a perder una segunda vuelta, un segundo giro. Ahora tenemos a Jake Bowman, que le ha recortado algo. 7 décimas le ha recortado en la última parte de esta competencia. Sin embargo, no es suficiente porque debería de recortar mínimo 1 segundo por vuelta para poder ponerse en aspiración de pelear por la bandera cuadros, cosa que ya la veo bastante difícil, salvo que ocurra alguna situación en estos momentos a falta de 4 vueltas que podría permitir que aparezca una bandera de precaución. Más Anunciata, ubicado en la tercera posición, el segundo mejor auto del equipo de Nitro Motorsports, cerrando bastante bien. Él recortó más tiempo Jake Bowman a Tristan McKee, 2.9 segundos la diferencia entre el primer y el segundo lugar. Van a quedar 2 vueltas, 2 giros. Sigue recortando Jake Bowman a Tristan McKee, pero van a quedar 2 giros. Acá está McKee. Últimas 2, se va a encontrar acá con Bobby Earnhardt, nieto de Dale Sr. Espero que no se complique acá con el tráfico, pero por ahora la diferencia ha aumentado ligeramente. 3 segundos, va a tomar la blanca Tristan McKee. Ahí lo tenemos al piloto del PRG. Señores, bandera blanca, es la última vuelta en esta Owens Corning 200. Ganador en Hickory. Llevó la apertura del campeonato. Ganó en Rockingham, lo que fue la segunda fecha de la temporada. Se quedó corto para llevarse la bandera cuadros en la pista de Nashville Fairground. Sin embargo, en esta oportunidad, domina a placer. Tristan McKee gana en Toledo. Segunda victoria en la Serie Nacional de la ARCA Menards Series. Tercera victoria de la temporada en la ARCA Menards del Este, afianzando más la punta del campeonato. Segundo Anunciata, tercero Carson Brown, cuarto finalizó Jake Bowman. Algo le pasó a Bowman, pero Anunciata segundo, tercero Carson Brown, cuarto Bowman, quinto Kenen Quapple en su debut, sexto Isabella Robusto, séptimo Jason Kitzmiller, octavo Wesley Slim, noveno Ryan Vargas, décimo lugar para Craig Pellegrini Jr. Ahí lo tenemos al ganador de la Owens Corning 200. Acaba con la hegemonía que tenía el equipo de Joe Gibbs Racing. Y ahora tenemos finalmente la segunda victoria del equipo del PRG esta temporada, después de haber ganado en Phoenix, que fue la segunda fecha de la temporada. Hacemos una pausa y enseguida regresamos. Estamos en vivo con la ARCA Menards Series, con este desenlace de esta sexta fecha de la temporada. Día dominante para Tristan McKee. Ahora tenemos entonces el piloto de la máquina número 77 del PRG, que se lleva su segunda victoria en la categoría, la primera del año, en la serie nacional de la ARCA Menards Series. Los dos pilotos han ganado en esta campaña, siendo victoria para Carson Brown en Phoenix, mientras que Tristan McKee se llevó la victoria en esta ocasión en la Owens Corning 200. Ahora está en Victory Lane para levantar el premio de la Owens Corning. Ahí lo tenemos al piloto de 15 años de edad, Tristan McKee. Ahí está Kevin Reed Jr., su crew chief. Primera victoria en un óvalo en la serie nacional de la ARCA Menards Series. ¿Qué pasó desde tu perspectiva en las primeras de cambio? Bueno, lo lamento mucho, la verdad, por lo de Max Reeves. No trataba de lograr la posición en pista lo mejor posible. Sin embargo, bueno, tuve ahí un error, cometí un error. El auto se me fue de cola y no pude hacer nada. Bueno, esperamos que podamos lograr la victoria a la siguiente ocasión, ¿no? Que va a ser la próxima fecha en poco, ¿no? Tercera victoria para Chevrolet en el año, porque vienen de ganar en Talladega con Jan Kowiak y vienen de ganar en Phoenix con Carson Brown. Resultados extraoficiales. Victoria de Tristan McKee, la segunda de la categoría para él, la primera en un óvalo en esta división. Vamos a anunciar segundo, Carson Brown de tercero. Cuarto lugar para Jake Bowman, quinto lugar para Kaden Quapple en su debut. Ya después, los resultados secundarios. Después aparece, ¿no? Max Reeves, que finaliza el puesto número 11. Quinn Davis, la chica, finaliza el puesto 12. 13º finaliza el piloto campeón de la ARCA del Este el año pasado, Isaac Miller. También por ahí aparece Andy Jankova, que finaliza en el puesto número 21. Rita Goulet, la otra chica, finaliza el puesto 22. Dale Sherry, puesto 23. Austin Bogg. Jackson McLeerman, puesto 25. Michael Maples, puesto 26. Matt Kemp y Ken Along, el último en la competencia. Por cierto, próxima carrera, 5 de junio, Michigan. Será a las 6 de la tarde, hora de Argentina. 4 de la tarde, hora de Colombia. 3 de la tarde, hora de México y Centroamérica. Gracias a todos, la verdad, por acompañarnos en esta oportunidad. Mil disculpas a todos, la verdad, por la tardanza de entrar a la transmisión, pero gracias realmente por hacer el aguante y sobre todo, ¿no?, por haber vivido las emociones de esta Owens Corning 200 con Tristan McKee llevándose la victoria. Gente, nos vemos mañana con más actividad en la NASCAR, en esta ocasión con la Cup, con el All-Star Race, y después a la noche estaremos con Charlotte en la FRC iRacing Series.